Would you believe someone was orphaned in less than 1 year old?
My parents died before I was 1, and my mom died first, and my father, I am told, decided to take us to the children's home. There were 4 of us.
Our guest this time is so exciting.
Like now we're many were boys.
Yes.
We're 5 were boys, by the way. So now they had to find a way of
distinguishing.
Okay, which Wambui, yeah. So they'd call me Wambui, my brother's name. And my brother's name is funny, it's called Gwashe actually.
Wambui Gwashe.
Okay. Shiro big, Shiro small, you know, I mean, and so on.
Oh, so he took his own,
and then he went and took
for this other
young
boy.
Man. Yes, this young boy.
Very
the young
unfair.
boy came and told me I'm the bigger sister. Wanyuike did not know
what hit him.
I just timed when he was walking by, I sprang on him on the ground. And then those days, everybody would come around, healer,
and then
they're
cheering.
And I beat this boy up. And during, Parents' Day, everybody has their parents, and then you have this Muzungu, walking, coming, and everybody's like, "Is that your mom?" I mean,
how
or
come
whatever.
you don't look like her?
And so on. So I started doing Form 2 mathematics when I was in Form 3.
Form 3.
By myself. You start, okay, because I needed to get the concepts, the principle, you understand,
yes.
So that I can now build on, because now it can become Greek.
Yes.
Now at home, what do? Lights off at 8. So I go to the toilet, and then I start doing my, because I need to push a few hours. It was not practical.
Yes.
And there's a different mother in every house.
Yes.
So ours was Gadamba, and I remember her coming. Nani huyo anawasha taa? Uko, and then I'd switch off.
So they would check.
They would check. From 4 exams.
Yes.
I got a 3 in mathematics.
What?
Yes.
That was super. 3
I got
in
a 3
maths.
in maths. I got a 3.
She is Wambui Mbesa, CEO Relational FS, a mentor and member of the Women on Boards Network, among many other things that she does. This is the executive table. My name is Mary Wamai. The guest I have will give us a lot of lessons on leadership, resilience, innovation, and many, many more. And guess what? She's a woman in STEM, science, mathematics, engineering, technology, you name it. Very, very exciting. I'm already so excited to have this conversation. Welcome, Wambui. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, and thanks for coming. Yeah. We are so glad to have you to share your journey, your lessons. We can't wait to hear the story. Karibu sana.
Asante.
So let's start.
Okay.
Where do we start? Where you were born?
Yes.
When you came to this world?
That could be a good place. I was born in Nairobi.
You are a city girl.
I'm a city girl.
Me, I'm a village girl.
You're a village girl. However, you will see my village also comes in. So I found myself before 1 year old at a children's home.
What happened?
My parents died before I was 1, and my mom died first, and my father, I am told, decided to take us to the children's home. We were 4 of us, as he probably prepares himself or, organizes himself now that his wife has died. I was 2 months old then. And it's a children's home on Wayaki Way.
So how many, you are 4, so your siblings are sisters or brothers, and they were definitely older than you?
They were definitely older.
How old
than me.
were they?
Yes. So my brother, I think he's now 60 what? He was like 8 years.
8 years.
And then there's a girl. She was around maybe 5.
5.
Then my brother, who I follow.
Yes.
I'm very close to. He was about 2.
2.
And then myself.
Now you're newborn.
Yes. So there's a children's home called Salvation Army. It's right on, from Wayaki Way. You go to Musa Gitao Road and then Karabasirani Road. It's right there. And that's where we found ourselves. But 7 months later, he never came back. He had actually gotten an accident and also died.
Your dad? died also after
yes,
7 months.
After 7 months.
So you are total orphans at that point.
At that age.
Yes.
Yes.
So sorry.
Yeah, you know, that is life, and but here we are.
So you actually literally grew up in the orphanage.
Yes.
From that point forward.
Yes. Yes. I grew up in the orphanage, and I left the orphanage at 18 years when I went to the university.
Tell us, how was life in there with other kids and very difficult circumstances?
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit more from when you can remember.
Yeah.
Because you are still very young when you went in there.
Yes, I remember it all. It was actually, I think we got a good life. So the superintendent of the home, I still remember her, Major Dorothy R. Moss. You know the Salvation Army.
Yeah, they have the structures.
Yes, the structures. You know, Major, Captain, Lieutenant, and so on. So she was called Dorothy R. Moss. She was a British. And actually, she left the home when I was just about to finish Form 4. So basically, my entire life, she was there. She was the one, you know,
who took care of you.
Took care of us. We were about 96 children then.
That's many.
Yes, that's many.
Yeah.
But we had a good life. I mean, you know, they took us to school. We had good food and care. A lot of help from philanthropists. And I remember those days, it was a lot of whites and Asians.
Just
and they would come
coming
home.
in and giving donations.
Giving donations, ensuring we have everything we need. Yeah, and we played a lot of games. That's where I learned how to ride bicycles. You know.
Wow.
So it was a good life.
So what you'd say is that other than missing the normal comforts of a home and a family setting, in terms of basic provisions, food, clothing, schooling, health facilities, you are well taken care of at that point.
Yes, absolutely, well taken care of. So what would happen is the nursery school was at the home.
Yes.
And then after you hit age 6, you know, and you could touch your ear because it was those days.
Yeah, you had to touch your ear.
Yes, was sent off to school. Now, where the home is,
yes,
it's right in the near Kangemi. And then on the other side, there's a small village called Waroko. And then in the outer, you know, peripheries, there's Kawangware and Gatina. So the schools we went to, we had to be distributed. So like I went to a school called Bernadette State Primary School. You know, you cross, you know, there's a river, you cross, and then you go like you're going to Lavington. And then my brothers, for example, went to Lavington. Lavington Primary School.
Yes.
And then others went to Kangemi Primary, and so on, Kehumbu Primary.
So you are evenly distributed.
Evenly distributed.
All over. Yes.
You leave in the morning.
Yes.
Those who are a bit near, like myself, would come home for lunch and then go back.
Okay.
And then those who are a bit further, like Lavington Primary, they'd pack lunch and then come in the evening.
Yes.
So that's how we did our primary.
Okay. Okay.
So for me, Bernadette, it's now called Mudhangari Primary School.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just near the Mudhangari police station. Just
I think I've seen it somewhere.
Yes, and we'd walk and go back home.
Okay. Okay.
And then if you did well,
yes,
you go to your chosen high school.
So like any other student in a normal home.
In a normal home.
Yeah.
Yes. So the difference obviously was the eating times, you know, the bell in the morning.
Yeah, there's a program.
It's a program.
Yes.
Bell in the morning, you have your breakfast. At lunchtime, a bell. 5 o'clock, dinner. 8 p.m., lights off.
Yeah.
You go to bed.
Now, I'm just curious, Wambui, because when I was growing up, I had my mom, and she was the disciplinarian.
Yes.
And I got my fair share of the beatings when I needed to.
Yeah.
So how did that go in the home? So like, how did the discipline, how are values instilled? And just tell us a little bit more about it, because the mom is not there, the dad is not there.
Yeah. So we had structures, and they were very serious structures. But this is a Christian home because it's by the Salvation Army.
Yes.
So the first thing that they instilled on all of us was the the Bible,
the
love for God,
the Christian
yes,
values,
the Christian
and
values. So every Sunday, for example, would have 2 services in the morning, in the evening, and sometimes at 4 p.m. they would take us to Kariakor for a Salvation Army service. And then during the week, you know, there are the prayers and so on. Now, so that was the Christian, you know, value.
Yes.
Then now we had under the Dorothy R. Moss, the captain of the home,
yes,
actually major of the home, we had fathers and mothers. So we were distributed in the houses, and that's why it's like a village.
Yes.
So in houses where you have like 12 to 15 people per house.
And someone is in
and
charge
somebody
of the
is in charge.
the order.
Yes, the discipline,
that.
the order. And then there was a gentleman called Peter Mutunga. May God rest his soul in peace. He passed away. He was like now the disciplinarian.
Disciplinary master. Discipline master.
Yes. Kiboko zilikuwa huko.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and yeah, and it's amazing how they used to deal with us. I mean, you know, if you break a rule,
yeah,
you're called, you either reason or there's a kiboko. I mean, everything. Even Major Moss used to give us kiboko.
Yes.
That Muzungu lady, you know, but but she loved us.
Okay. Well, I guess they did it out of love anyway.
Yeah, yes, yes.
But that time we used to think the haters.
I know. Yeah, it was out of love.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are other challenges here and there in the sense that. We like now we're many Wambois.
Yes.
We're 5 Wambois by the way. So now they had to find a way of
distinguishing.
Okay, which Wamboi, yeah. So they'd call me Wamboi, my brother's name. And my brother's name is funny, it's called Gwashe actually.
Wamboi Gwashe. Okay.
Shiro big, Shiro small, you know, I mean, and so on.
Yeah, just to distinguish which
but
one.
Basically, in order to really bring order, they gave us numbers. So me, I was number 23.
Number 23.
Yeah.
So when number 23 is called, you jump up.
You jump up. All my things were number 23. Everything was 23, yeah.
Instead of a name.
Yes. That then made it, the mechanical bit then comes in.
Yes.
And then struggles of, okay, am I a number, am I a person? But anyway, it had to be that way.
So did you struggle with identity at any point in time, especially those early years as now? You start understanding, getting a bit more knowledgeable. You're growing up. Who am I? Where do I belong? So just tell us how you handled that.
Yeah, actually, identity, I struggled with it when I was preteen, and getting into high school. In primary, it was... I mean, you really don't understand. You're
still too young.
Yeah, but you're too young and, you're very occupied with so many other things.
Yes.
But yes, in the later years, I did struggle.
Okay. As
I grew older. And one of the things that really distinguished me, and it's so funny, is I was a bit aggressive.
In what sense?
If you provoke me, I would punch you.
What? Physically?
Physically.
Wow, I should not joke.
So this is, when people see me now, they're like, what?
Is that you?
Yes, is it you? And I remember, Nyayo milk?
Yes.
So we go to Bernard Estate, which is, and would get the milk that used to come from Nyayo, the Nyayo milk. And one of the ladies who used to be in charge of us, she was called Mama Anna.
Maybe you need to explain what Nyayo milk is, because I've just remembered there are some of us here who have no clue what Nyayo milk is as we took. Just explain.
Yeah, Nyayo milk was the late President Moi had this program where all schools, primary schools, and I think primary public schools were getting milk every day in school.
All the school children.
In Kenya.
It was what, twice a week?
Yeah, I think it was twice or 3 times a week or something.
Twice or 3 times a week.
And they would pack them in nice little Tetra packs.
Yes.
Like this. And they would come and drop them. And so we had Nyayo milk so that everybody is healthy and that was Nyayo milk. It was free milk.
Free primary school milk.
Yeah, milk, exactly. So what we would do, I mean, you see when Bernard Estate, so there's some people who would be like, they don't want the milk. Because it was a combined, people from different social economic
Yes, yes.
You know, status.
Saw it differently.
Yeah, saw it differently.
Yeah.
As we would take all the milk.
Yeah, I mean, for some of the children, actually, that is where they got their nourishment.
Yes, yeah.
Because they will not get milk from other sources.
Exactly.
But I guess if you are from a well-off family, then you're asking, what is this now?
What is this?
They
would actually,
it was brownish Tetra pack.
Yeah, brownish, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
very beautiful pack, actually.
Yeah, so you see how the village and the city is connected.
Oh, yeah, I can see. We are dealing with the same issues.
Anyway, so we would get that extra milk that people have. Anyway, and we'd take it home to these ladies who used to look after us. They would also come and give them, there was extra milk.
Yes.
For them now to, these are,
so
the mamas
bring
of the
it
home.
to you.
Yeah, so when we get it, any extra would take. Anyway, so one time there was a young boy called Wanyoike. We're in the same class. I remember him, Wanyoike. And Wanyoike,
was he your age or?
He was my age. We're in the same class.
You're in the same class.
Yes.
Okay.
But he took milk from one of the boys from the children's home. He took his milk.
Oh, so he took his own?
And then he went and took from this young man. Yes, this young boy.
Very
the young boy
unfair.
came and told me, I'm the bigger sister.
So and so has taken my milk.
So and so has taken my milk. Wanyoike did not know
what hit him.
What hit him. I just timed when he was walking by, I sprang on him on the ground. And then those days, everybody would come around, healer,
and then they're cheering.
And I beat this boy up.
What?
Obviously, the teachers came and because they said he took, we used to call him boy, Charles. We took boy's milk. I was taken to the staff room and all that.
What's going on?
But luckily, I was also very bright. I used to be number one in class and so on. Top student. So now they had to find a way to deal with me. So they made me a prefect.
Oh, to instill discipline, to stop you from fighting.
Yeah. But that was not the end of the story. In the evening when I was going home.
The same day?
The same day. Wanyoike had regrouped a few people and they waited for me. So I'm going, home and all,
And you are walking?
Walking. I used to walk
your
back
home.
to the children's home.
Yes.
Timed me at the river and he got his revenge,
Was he alone or he had this guy?
He had other people with him. Yes, other boys from Gatina. Them they were from Gatima village, Gatina. So we used to separate. As we cross the river, go towards Kangemi. Then they go to Gatina, Kawangware.
So he sorted you out?
He sorted me out and he had help. And I have to acknowledge, he was a bit of a coward because he had help. Me, I didn't have help. Anyway, so that was me those days. No.
Let me ask you. So did you ever make peace with Wanyoike? Even the Bible tells us you need to always make peace. Even with your enemy.
We made peace. Once in a while he would need my help. In mathematics or whatever. So we had to make pease.
And good.
I don't know where he is now, and our paths, went separate ways.
Okay.
But so I was just trying to, just address that. Sometimes there's something, eating you up, and the only way you know how to bring it out at that age is it was, for me it was just.
That's the outlet for your
outlet for maybe any anger or frustration,
bitterness or frustration.
Exactly. But
okay, but tell us, how did you overcome that? Because that time you were still quite young in primary school. So what did you have to do to overcome that urge to? I have to box you to get it out.
So when I grew, as I was approaching teenage years and I got into high school, I sort of. Became a less aggressive, introvertive, and I think I really let go when I became a Christian.
Okay.
Yes, around Form 4.
So you were more restrained.
I was more restrained, and something replaced the anger. Just God's peace and so on.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But by the time I was in standard 7, I was not.
You are not
just the younger days. Yes,
fighting.
I had.
You had calmed down.
I had calmed down,
and you were too busy studying for the exams.
I know. Yes.
Okay, now let's go to the academics. So you said earlier you are one of the top students.
Yes.
Just tell us about that. When did that start? Was that from day one, standard one, or did it progress over time? Tell us how the academic progress went. We were so fortunate. In my class at Bernard Estate,
were 10 children from the children's home. So one class of, I don't know, 35 or whatever it was.
10 of you.
10 in my class
Yes.
from the home.
Yes.
You go to the next class, again, 5 from the home. You know, because we were many.
You're many.
We were many and we're all age mates.
Yes.
Number 1 to 10, almost always was somebody from the children's home. You understand, eh? And,
Yes.
and there's a reason for this. At the home, they would really work on our academics. So what they would do would have all these, you know, volunteers coming
to
help us with
tutor
homework,
you, whatever.
tutor.
Wow.
Our English was like the best. I mean, and especially, you can imagine, we are there in the children's home, and these are the kids that are coming from Kangemi, Kawangware. Honestly, they didn't even have shoes. They used to come. We used to have shoes.
So you were actually in a better position.
We're in a better position, like you said,
them.
Physically, and you know, our uniform, basics met, you know. Some children even used to wish they were in the children's home. Oh, yes, because of
these guys
just how
having a good life.
We were really taken care of. So
yeah.
So and especially when it came to English and speaking and so on, and writing and so on, we were really good.
Yes.
So that pushed, you know, us, you know, to do well. Okay. So that's what I can attribute it to. But otherwise, we were playful like anyone else. Those days we didn't really have a lot of homework or anything, so I think also easy. That helped. You just go home, you do your homework, and then
which system did you do? Did you come into the 844 or the one before?
No, the one before 844. I looked at it. It almost got me by 2 years or something.
So you did the CPE?
I did CPE.
Yeah. So CPE was only 3 subjects.
It was 3 subjects.
So
English,
to your point, it was easy.
It was English.
Just needed maths, English, and
general paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
And civics and all that.
In there. And you're done. Even Kiswahili was not tested.
Yeah. The others were irrelevant at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
how did it go with the CPE then, when the year came?
So CPE I did well. I believe I got 32 points.
Wow, 32 was
32
good.
out of 36.
Out of 36.
Out of 36.
I got 34.
Oh wow. Okay, there
2
you
more
go.
than you.
I know. You must have taken more Nyayo milk.
Well, 32. I took.
Yeah, and
that was good.
I remember when we were going to do our CPE. The evening before, we were all called. We were many, like I told you, us we were 10.
The day before the exam.
Just the day before the exam.
Yes.
And Major Moss came with, you know, sweets and all that. I said, you know, tomorrow you're doing your
this
exam,
major exam.
Motivated us, you're going to do well, and gave us, you know, sweets. And, you know, it was like a treat, you know.
And to calm you down, to
calm
make
us
it
down.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Of course, not everybody passed.
Yes.
You know, some of us did well.
Yes.
And the beauty with the home is, if you did well, you'd go to a good school. So I had people who went to Limuru Girls. I went to State House Girls.
Yes.
2 of us went to State House. Somebody else went to Kenya High. You know.
Oh, very top school.
But at the same time, those who didn't do well,
yes,
couldn't go to high school. It was a conveyor belt.
So what now became of them?
So they would go to now, we used to have a carpentry.
Or the TVET.
The TVET, but within the home, yes.
Within the home.
Yeah, so they would do carpentry. Some of them are fantastic. Wood.
Tailoring.
Up to now. I have people, you know, who are in the, you know, carpenters and all that, fantastic, doing a lot of good work.
Yes.
From the home. Some of them went to, there was another Salvation Army unit in Kariakor where they would train you to do housework and all that. So the home was a conveyor belt. There's no repeating or anything.
They will place you with the employers.
They place you with the employers,
okay.
You know. And because of the connections we had then, I remember somebody also even got a job with KLM as a cleaner, you know, once they were taught. So they really, this Major Moss really tried to settle people. But if you did well, they pushed you.
Top schools.
They pushed you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's how it...
Okay, so State House Girls. How did it go?
State House Girls. Now, I have to say one thing.
Yes.
You remember we used to choose schools to go to?
Yes.
My first choice was Kenya High.
That was your dream school.
My dream school. If I had 34, I probably...
And you're a top student.
Or 36.
But 32 was good.
Yeah, so I had 32. I was called to State House, which was also a beautiful school. It was good. It was a day school then.
And still within Nairobi.
It's still within Nairobi. It was a day school. So I had to leave the home every day, take a bus, Wayaki Way. That Wayaki Way, I know it like the back of my hand. All the way to
the university.
Yeah. Vic Preston, we used to be at petrol station up. Then I get off the bus.
Yes.
Walk. All the way up through the university halls of Nairobi.
Yeah.
And then to State House.
Yes.
In the evening, the same.
The same.
Come back, take a bus. Or I could also, from State House, I could find my way to the Museum Hill and wait for a number 23. Or 22 or 21, and then come all the way.
Yes.
The ones who are going to Kangemi, then drop out at Nairobi School. You know, Nairobi School is just opposite.
Yes.
On Oyaki Way.
Yeah.
Drop out at Nairobi School and then come home and, yes. So every day for 4 years.
Wow.
That was my journey.
Yes.
I would carry lunch. So the
school used to allow day scholars?
Yes. No, the school would allow us to go to day schools.
Okay.
It was home.
Yeah.
Oh, State House?
No, I'm saying, some schools will not allow you to study from home. They are boarding schools only.
Yes.
So State House girls
was
were
a
both?
Day, no, it was not both.
It was
a day school. Yes, in fact, we're the ones who raised the money for the dormitories to be built. But we never enjoyed. Yes, that was 84. I left in 84.
So it became a boarding school
in 85,
later.
Yes, and that's where it changed its name from State House Road Girls High School to State House Girls. They removed the road.
The road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So it was a day school. Everybody was a day scholar. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything interesting happened there? Any sports? Any extracurricular? Any? What did you do other than, of course, the tough ones?
Yeah. So many things. State House shaped me into what I am today. So the headmistress, the late Mrs. Gikonyo, she was really wonderful and she really inspired me. I cannot tell a story without telling about her.
What she did.
State House was interesting in the sense that I became a prefect. Which was a shock to me.
Why? So you're already a prefect in Banners.
That was Banadeste. That was,
to contain you.
Yeah, that was contain me.
Yeah.
Now, when you reach, Form 1 and 2, Form 3, then they decide who, and it was a big deal.
So they choose.
To be a prefect. They choose. So the teachers used to choose. It's not democratized like today. I think today
they vote.
You campaign and you vote.
Yes.
And the teachers were looking for certain qualities. And I remember the day they were calling now, the prefects are,
so and so,
and Wambui Samuel. Oh, by the way, I was called Wambui Samuel then. This is another
so
thing.
So you are now not Wambui Ngwashi?
No, I'm not Wambui Ngwashi. So, at the children's home, it was Major Moss.
Yes.
Taking all these names from her. So I don't know what happened. And most of us had these English names.
Yes.
So my dad was Samuel Kihuha.
So they take your dad's first name.
So they take your dad's first name.
Samuel.
Because probably in Britain or whatever.
Yeah.
So you find Wanjiro Peter, Wambui Samuel, and that became my name. And that was an identity crisis for me. I really tried to shake off the Samuel because everybody would ask me, now, why are you called Wambui Samuel? And now, you can't explain,
Yes. So
you actually, see, like, these days I write it, you
can't... like today, if it was today and it's an email or a phone, I haven't seen you, and we are talking, and then eventually now it's time to do the face-to-face. I'll be expecting to see someone in a different kind of skin.
Exactly. Oh, Miss Samuel.
And you're like, oh, Miss Samuel. You're like, oh, I was expecting something else. So I get what you're saying, that kind of crisis.
Yes.
You're feeling like this is not really me.
This is not really me. And during, Parents' Day, everybody has their parents, and then you have this Muzungu, walking, coming, and everybody's like, is that your mom? I mean,
how
or
come
whatever.
You don't look like her?
And so on. So those are the crises I was telling you I went through.
I can imagine.
But back to the prefect thing. So we're in the assembly, and it's the whole school. Remember, when you're prefect, you wear a different jersey, a different,
and ties,
and they're calling people, badges. And then they say, Wambui Samuel. I'm even looking behind to see whether they're calling someone.
It's someone
else. Prefect, and everybody's like, it's you, it's you. And then you go and. So And so that was Mrs. Gikonyo, you know, during her era. I was very sporty because at the home we had a lot of sports. Like I was very good in table tennis, so it's one of the things I picked up.
Yeah, yeah.
And so even in the school I would play table tennis and all that.
Yes.
And I remember, you know, winning here and there. And then when I was in Form 4, I won the Nairobi, you know, schools and so on. And now I was supposed to go and represent the school in Mombasa, the nationals.
In table tennis?
In table tennis.
Wow.
And I said, I'm not going.
You refused?
I'm not going because I have to study. I have to study, I can't go. Mrs. Gikonyo calls me to her office and she tells me, well, boy, you can do this, you can do both. Because she understood where I was, you know, my background. And I was, she asked me, why don't you want to go? I said, no, I have to study.
Too much work.
There's a lot of work I have to study. And you know, at the children's home, lights used to go off at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah, so, you know, you really don't have much time in the evening. So I don't want to waste, you know, time going. Anyway, and she told me, well, boy, you can do this. You can have both. You know, I believe in you and you can do this. And she really encouraged me. And I went to represent the school.
Yes.
And guess what? I became the champion.
What?
National
and you were
champion
refusing?
that year. I was refusing.
Ah,
I became the national champion. The other highlight of State House is, you know, I used to do cross country and so on. And music.
Yes.
I also did a lot of music.
Instrumental.
Instruments. Yeah, I play the guitar. You know, I was very good at the recorder.
Yeah.
So there's the many highlights, you know, in that sense.
Wow.
One thing I really wanted was when I go to Form 5 and 6, I wanted it to be Kenya High. But I had one big problem.
Yes.
The problem was I was not doing well in mathematics. So now I'm talking about now the other side of my being in State House. And I remember Mrs. Arao. Mrs. Arao was our mathematics teacher. And she was like, you cannot go to Kenya High unless you have a 6 and below in mathematics. Do you remember? Yeah. Number 1, if you get a 1
was the best.
9, you failed.
Was the worst.
Me, I was now there.
Now
7,
you're around 7.
6,
7 was not good.
7 was not. I wouldn't go. You remember how? Yeah. So you had to pass in English and math. I think you had to get 6 and below and so on. But I had a problem at home. We would have to sleep at 8 and so on. So I had to now devise a strategy. I'm realizing this in Form 3.
1 year to go.
1 year to go. So I decided I'm going to revisit my syllabus in Form 2. So I went and I asked for a Form 2 textbook.
Yes.
Mary, I started doing Form 2 mathematics when I was in Form 3.
In Form 3.
By myself. You know, you start, okay, because I needed to get the concepts, the principle, you understand? Yes. So that I can now build on, because now it can become Greek.
Yes.
In Form 3.
Yes. You are feeling like you are stuck now.
I'm stuck now,
at 7.
And I want to go to Kenya High. I can't go even if I do. I was doing well in the other subjects, but I was not very, you know, happy with the sciences somehow.
Wow. Wow.
So I went back. Now at home, what do? Lights off at 8. So I go to the toilet. And then I start doing my, you know, because I need to push a few hours. It was not practical.
Yes.
And I remember this time it was Kathamba. Kathamba was one of the ladies. Now, I had moved from the, you know, you graduate every year. From when you're 0 to 8 years, you're in a certain house. Then when you become older, you go to another house, and there's a different mother in every house.
Yes.
So ours was Kathamba, and I remember her coming. Nani huyo anawasha taa? Uko, you know, and then I would switch off.
So
you know,
they would check.
They would check, you know, and I pretend, you know, I'm going, and then you come back. You know, those are the. Did you know when we did Form 4 exams?
Yes.
I got a 3 in mathematics.
What?
Yes.
That was super. 3
I got a 3
maths.
in maths. I got a 3.
So efforts
you know,
paid off.
Yes, the efforts paid off.
The efforts paid off.
And I really had this desire. Because 2 of my older sisters from the home had gone to Kenya High and were really speaking very highly about it. So I said, I must go. Wow. Anyway, so That's my life in Kenya High. I mean, in State House.
And the overall mark, what did you get in the now this is the Kenya Certificate of Education, as we used to call it that time.
Yes.
What was the overall performance?
My overall performance, we used to measure it in, how are we measuring it?
It was Division 1.
I got a Division 1.
Points.
Yes, I got a...
And the lower the points, the better.
The better, yes. The lower the points, the better.
Yeah. Gosh, it was all the marks you've got in the various subjects.
Yes, and then the top 6 together. The top 6, I think, they would add them together.
6 was the best you could get.
Yeah, 6 was the best.
Division 1 of 6
points. Yes.
Yeah.
I got a Division 1.
Yeah, that was top.
But it was not 6. It was somewhere, it was double digit.
Yeah, anything.
Maybe whatever.
Up to, I think, 20 was a Division 1.
Yes, Division 1.
Yeah.
So I got a Division 1.
Yeah.
And I was called to Kenya High.
Wow, your dream school.
My dream school.
Okay, now, guys, your dreams can come true if you work for them and if you know what you want.
Do you know the following day, Chandaria brought a car to pick me?
What?
I was taken to shop, got uniform, everything. And the same car, I call it a limousine, but it was just a car for me, because I had to sit back, left.
You sat back left?
Back left.
For the first time?
For the first time.
So, Wambui, what you're telling me is, when we tell people to raise their hand, it does work.
It does work.
It does work.
It does work.
So you really get someone who supports your education for the next 2 years.
Yes.
No questions asked. Just do your business. Deliver
business.
Academic performance.
Exactly. Every day we'd have our assembly, and she always used to come. Girls, Proverbs 34, 33 to 34. A little sleep, a little slumber, and poverty will come to you like a thief and want like an armed gun. Every day. I'm telling you up to now, by the way, even when I was asleep, I hear Mrs. Wanjoi's.
Now, at this point, I cannot connect Wambui, that one coming from the children's home.
Yeah.
And now the Wambui who is here now, dining with the top cream.
Yes. Sometimes we feel that we know what is best for us.
For yourself.
Yes. And then results come and you're devastated and you think it's the end of your life. But imagine it's not. Whatever lemons you're given, you better make lemonade out of it.
Yeah.
They said we became kichwangumu because we have already tested the university.
Campus life.
But national service was so interesting. We did a lot of things that I didn't understand. Askaris would be like, anguka kiaskari, I'm like, anguka kiaskari means you fall like a soldier.
Straight.
Yes, fall straight.
With dignity.
I just fainted, yeah. I don't know that I hadn't eaten.
So me, when I was falling, the last words I had when I was said I could hear was, wewe kufa, tutajua kwenu. Kufa. Kuruti, kufa.
Kuruti, yes. Oh my goodness, yes. But